Hey sippers, thank you for joining us for Cocktails and Conversations with a Twist. Remember, while we're spilling, grab your cocktail and start sipping.
Thank you for joining us for Cocktails and Conversations with a Twist. Tonight we have a special guest discussing the importance of mentorship. We'll also be discussing the negative depiction of black men in Tyler Perry movies, so stay tuned.
We are here every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Make sure you're following us on Facebook and Instagram at Cocktails and Conversations. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode. Sippers, shop today for your Bedazzled FLASK. Purchasing info will be listed in the description box below.
Tonight's featured cocktail originated in London and is known for its springtime essence. The Bramble is fruity, enough for the ladies, but apparently it's robust enough for the men. But I'll let y'all be the judge of that. All the drink details are in the description box below. Don't forget to tag us on social media if you try this drink.
Our special guest tonight is not only an entrepreneur, but he is a teacher, speaker, motivator, and a life coach. If you're familiar with his videos on Facebook Live, you know that he's far from shy and very outspoken. Let's give a warm welcome to Bobbie Sera, Mr. Mentorme himself.
Thank you for having me on Cocktails and Conversations. Guys, make sure, of course, you follow me on IG, Mentorme, YouTube, Mentorme, and, of course, Facebook, Mentorme. Just a real pleasure to be here on this platform to give you guys some good knowledge on why mentorship is very valuable. This is your boy Bobbie from mentorme.com.
We've all heard the saying, if you knew better, you would do better. However, in many cases, someone's environment, childhood, who their parents are, who their friends are, can have a negative effect on his or her life. We can all attest to making some wrong decisions in life, mainly because we chose to ignore our parents' advice or just didn't have the right advice to begin with. So this leads me to tonight's topic, the importance of mentorship.
Right now, we're in a world where mentorship is a necessity. A lot of father figures are not in homes right now, so to say, is mentorship important? It's very important, because young kids are actually raising young kids. And now, due to, of course, the crime rates and, of course, the lack of savings in our culture, it's very important to have a mentor. But the truth is, you need to understand, what is a good mentor? You can't just let anybody lead you into mentorship. You have to have a good mentor. Majority of us in this world are living, of course, in a world where we don't have direction. So what a mentor really does is give us direction, explanation, and, of course, expert advice on financial literacy, fatherhood, and just guidance in the future for our younger generation that's growing up in this world today.
Agree with you. I feel I like the definition of a mentor.
Great.
And it says it's someone who's an experienced and trusted advisor. And I feel that's important to know because I personally feel, whether it's career-wise, relationships, finances, it's always good to have a person who's wiser and experienced leading you.
Of course. We need role models. Let's be honest, right now there's many single parents living in this world raising kids. It could be young girls, young boys. Without direction, where are these kids going? You got to realize, again, things are happening because, again, there's no male role models in this world. And sometimes a mentor doesn't always have to be a male, it could be vice versa. But with proper education and proper financial literacy, we could really get our younger generation to another level. And that's why it's important to, of course, understand the value of mentorship in this world. I wish growing up I would understand, or somebody would have taught me, of course, the value of a mentor. I would have been further than where I'm at today. But again, I'm glad to be best here on this platform, Cocktails and, of course, Conversations, being able to, of course, elaborate on the importance of mentorship.
Right. But unfortunately, I think, like, with our community, it's kind of hard to convince people, you know what I mean? Because people normally like to stick with what they're comfortable with.
Of course.
And then, obviously, if you're seeking a mentor, you stepping outside of the norm, you know what I mean? So to get people, like, how do you go about getting people to step outside of, you know, to take that leap and, you know, step outside of what they're used to and, you know, seek a mentor in the first place?
Step one is understanding that they have to believe in the mentor. There needs to be results. Again, perception is not everything. People just want to believe that a mentor is just a person that dressed good, that drives nice foreign cars. No, you got to show results. It's important to understand if you're going to pick a mentor that has results, that could show you what he has done. So once you have those results, it's already a heads up for you, because now you have a person that could actually guide you into where he's at or even better. So it's important to also understand the person has to want to change their mindset, break that cycle. And sometimes that cycle is a mental mind frame of struggle. Mentally, we're struggling in our minds. Once we understand that we don't have to work check by check, we don't have to have our next generation struggling, we could, of course, gain the abundance of wealth.
What is the hardest thing about being a mentor?
Breaking the cycle or detaching people from the mindset that they're accustomed to. Many of us were programmed, we're mentally programmed into what we believe makes sense. So if we're living this world of, okay, hypothetically, you're a single parent raising 3 kids, you think, okay, what you've been doing for the last 15 years makes sense. And then you find a person like me that come in and say, what you've been doing, in other words, is wrong. I need to readjust what you're doing if you want to see better results, if you want to leave wealth generation. Because again, wealth generation is built through, of course, having certain tools, savings, great life insurance policies, leaving something behind, not just cash. We have this mindset that we're leaving debt behind. Debt doesn't get us anywhere. It's leaving assets behind that create positive cash flow, such as homes, real estate, stocks. We could even say cryptocurrency, entrepreneurship. That's the value if we want to create wealth generation.
That's so tough, man, though, because I don't know, like, I'm from the hood.
Okay.
And
You from the hood. Okay, that's cool.
I understand, like, when a good talking brother like yourself comes along,
Okay.
fast talking,
Okay.
we tend to not trust people like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Why is
regardless
that?
of, I don't know, I think it's the way we were raised. You know, we kind of raised to, like, shy away from that, because, like,
It's a cycle. Mental
nah,
cycle.
man, exactly. So, I mean, I understand you have to already be seeking, like,
Guidance.
in the first place, but what does that leave the rest of the people that aren't really?
But we want to get to people like that with that
Exactly, that's the
mentality.
goal.
That's
the
why we
goal.
have this show, to stress the importance of a mentor, because you know you can make a decision and not consult with someone who's experienced in that area, and it could be the wrong decision that can mess up your life and
Facts.
take you 10 or 15, 20 years to straighten it out, when you could have simply, we're trying to prevent the next generation
From going
and
through.
people who look up to us from making the mistakes that
Right.
we made. That's what I feel like
Very
a
true.
mentor
Very
is
true.
there for.
You know,
How do you choose your mentor, though?
that's a very great
Mentee.
question. Great question. There's many mentors that exist. Some people choose to have many mentors, which I don't believe in. Maybe bring it down to maybe 2. Because if you're choosing 5 different mentors, that's 5 different perspectives. Which one are you really going by? So you might feel this one is contradicting this mentor. This mentor is contradicting that mentor. Then you start to feel, okay, hold on, you're losing direction. You're losing focus.
But what if you have a mentor for different areas?
I was
Okay,
just
that
about to
makes
say, like,
sense.
what
That
if
makes
it's
sense.
like
Makes
one
sense.
of them is relationship,
Okay,
wise,
great.
and the other one is
That would make
career
sense.
driven.
But
then
not on the same.
Not on the same top. Remember, I'm more financial literacy.
Yeah.
Then you have
Okay.
certain individuals, they focus strictly on relationship. Some focus literally on empowerment, motivation, self-driven type of tools. I
Okay.
focus more on money management, investing, how to really create generational wealth, not just by saving all your money in the bank, getting no interest, and still, again, I always look at it like this too, like, if what you've been doing for all your years haven't worked of living, when are you going to change it? Why not, of course, merge with a person that could, of course, give you results and really show you the truth of where you need to be financially in this world?
I have a question.
Great.
In your experience, at what age do you feel it's the most appropriate age for a person to gain a mentor? So do you feel once they've become an adult, once they've graduated from college, before they go to college, when they're in high school, like, what's the age where you can see the biggest change?
I feel at a younger age. I mean, to me, start from young. You're never too young, you're never too old. I prefer to start from young, because younger kids, they retain information much quicker. They're not going to retain everything. But if you continuously put certain habits into their lifestyle, they start to, of course, conform to those habits. especially if those habits are actually positive habits of financial growth. But when you, of course, wait at certain ages, and again, we go back to programmed. They're programmed to bad habits till the age of 25. Okay. Then imagine trying to reprogram 25 years of bad habits compared to reprogramming 7 years of bad habits. This is why young kids right now, they're scamming, selling drugs. Mm-hmm. Some young girls are doing things they don't want to do, prostituting, and then believing what they see on social media. Mm-hmm. There's no true guidance. There's no mentors. And we as a culture, we sometimes feel mentors is not needed. You know, he's looking for money. You have to invest into yourself any way you look at it. You either could go make 5-7 years of mistakes at 25 to 32, or you could invest into yourself first, and that yourself may be somebody.
I'm glad you made that point. I ain't mean to cut you off.
No, you good, go ahead.
But, so, with that being said, which people do you find easier to mentor? The ones that have already tried and failed, or the people that haven't tried anything yet? Because, you know, I'm gonna let you answer first.
That's a good question. I usually tell people first and foremost, again, both parties could, of course, gain from the value of it. Mm-hmm. But it always goes back to one thing. Do you truly want to learn and change your situation? I could talk here all night and tell people different ways I make money, how I became a 7-figure earner. But if you don't want to accept the change that's being implemented into your mind right now, mm-hmm. it's not going to work. I could talk all night. It does not benefit you if you're not going to apply what I'm talking about in your everyday life.
Right.
Application.
But what I'm saying is, because, like, I know you have different people coming.
Of course, yeah.
So if it's someone that hasn't tried anything yet, and they're like, look, I have an idea, I have a plan, but I need guidance on how to even jumpstart it.
Okay.
Are those people easier to mentor, or the ones that have already tried and they look, I tried this, it's not working, I tried that? Are those, you know what I'm saying? Because it's
50-50, because if you tried and you by theory failed, which really wasn't a failure, it was an experience, you go into a mindset of what's going to make this different compared to, again, you got the next person who hasn't tried at all. Mm-hmm. But it goes back to, okay, who's comfortable with being invested into learning something new? It goes right back to it again. It's a 50-50 to say that this person who took risks is going to be guaranteed, you know, to, of course, absorb what I'm giving them, the information, compared to the person that never tried. Both parties have equal opportunity of being great because, of course, they're both exposed to the mentor. But who takes the mentor serious and apply it back again, that's the person who wins. But again, some individuals feel a mentor is another expense when it should be an investment. You're investing into yourself to make your life and your children's life better. You could take the long way and keep making mistakes for the next, like I said, 7, 8 years, 10 years, or you could take a shortcut and invest. Again, I always believe in understanding who's your mentor. Vet them, ask them questions. Find out what do they own. I'm one of those. I don't like to just believe perception. You dress nice, you're successful. We got to go back into those questions. What is success? How you dress, how you look, how you talk, who's happy, you know, what you feel about life, what do you look at long term. We got to understand these things. You hear people say this too. This person makes a lot of money. What is a lot of money? 50,000? It's in the eye of the beholder. 100, a million?
I know 50,000 ain't it.
Of course. Not with mortgage, right? Not with mortgages in this world.
Not in Florida, period. But
It's a different mindset. It's a different mindset. I think that we definitely need it. I'm glad we're in a world where it's growing. It's elevating. People are more receptive to mentors now. It takes time for our culture to, of course, understand the value of it, because again, we're breaking a cycle that have been in their family since sometimes grandmothers. And it's not an easy cycle to break.
But see, some people may do something different, like, and think that they're breaking the cycle.
Okay.
Like, all right, you know, my uncles, my aunts, they didn't go to college.
Okay.
And they may feel like, well, I went to college, so I broke the cycle. You know what I mean? Or they lived in the hood, they had a poor lifestyle, and now I'm middle class, so I broke the cycle. So what would be the difference?
That cycle.
Right.
Okay, there's always more cycles. Okay, just because you got a degree, okay, what does that determine? You finished something you started.
Oh, so it's levels. So it's
levels to this, right?
All right.
So you are qualified as a degree holder to be what, an employee?
Right.
That's what degrees give you. It puts you in an employee peace of mind. You have to take that degree and make something out of it to create true wealth. People think, well, once I go to school, I'm pretty much set for success. You know how much millions of people right now are struggling with 3, 4 degrees? I have students that have doctor's degree that's struggling. 44 or 45 years old, struggling. Because the mindset still haven't shifted. They put so much emphasis in schools, which is a business.
Right.
Thinking once the degree is in my hand, I'm good. You're piled up, here you go again, education, financial literacy, you're piled up with that. You got a sheet of paper, you got a degree, and by theory, you're going to make a lot of money, or you're going to be financially free. But what makes that
in some
really
cases
valuable?
now that deems to be true. So, like, what do you say to those people? Because you can't say to them like,
Very simple answer to give them. There's an exception. There's an
Okay.
exception.
okay,
You know, Jeff Bezos was working for a multi-billion-dollar company. He was making multi-millions. How many people we could say in this circle right here knows a person that's working for a normal 9 to 5, making $4 to $10 million a year? There's an
I'm
exception.
gonna sip on that.
Yeah, there's an exception.
So if people wanted to work with you, how can they reach you?
Definitely, guys, you can get on mentorme.com, and that's spelled MENTOURME, mentor, like you're touring the world, mentor me. You could get on my IG, Mentor Me. I have a YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube, which I'm slowly building right now. And you can just DM me, email me, mentorme@gmail.com.
Okay.
Okay, appreciate it.
All right. Thank you for being here.
Pleasure, pleasure.
This past weekend, Tyler Perry released the Netflix thriller entitled A Fall from Grace, which quickly gained buzz on social media. From the laughs at the noticeable antics of the background characters to the eye-catching wigs on screen, it became a trending topic. But we all know not all press is good press. Many people also took to social media to vent about the poor portrayal of black men in Tyler Perry's movies. Well, since we have Bobbie and Jason here, we would love to hear what you have to say about this. Does Tyler Perry have a bad habit of portraying black men in a negative light?
Personally, I don't really watch too many Tyler Perry movies, but I don't know. I honestly feel like it's for entertainment purposes. I mean, I don't really take offense to it because I feel like he's gonna put on screen what people want to see, and 9 times out of 10, they don't want to hear you talking about how good black men are. You know what I mean?
Controversy sells.
Exactly. So I feel like they put that kind of stuff out there because that's what sells. But that's just my opinion.
You know, it's we as people, we forget sometimes it's a business, just like you said.
Right.
I've watched probably all his movies, so I'm definitely familiar, especially the last one on Netflix. Good movie, again, but we're in a world where people are more opinionated now. So, but we also got to look at the fact that there's a lot of people benefiting from being on these type of movies and segments of what he do. Do he portray men in a certain fashion? If that's what's selling, that's the business aspect of it, so yes. And I could definitely affirm that it is true. But again, like you say, nobody wants to just watch a great, lovely, positive relationship movie going on. There's drama in real life.
Apply that to their own
Exactly,
life. Like, this
exactly.
ain't going on in my life. What I want to watch this for?
There's real drama going on, but what I
Right,
love
right.
about him, he always he either transitions from negative to positive. So he'll show you the negative aspect, that the storyline, what's going on negatively, then it transitions into positive resolution or closure.
Right.
You know, so I can't really say there's anything too negative about what he's doing. Again, we still got to look at it's a business. It's a business at the end of the day, and he transitions himself based on what he's doing. So I'm a fan of it.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, I'm also a fan, and I just believe that he's being relatable.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
everybody can relate to at least one character or one situation in at least 2 of his movies. And I read a post on Facebook. This man was going in speaking about how he's tired of Tyler Perry portraying black men in this way. I feel like if you take offense to that, then it's something within yourself that you need to fix, because you see yourself in that character and you're
Yeah,
not
that's all
willing
it
to.
is.
Yeah. So
People don't
if
like
the
the
shoe
truth.
fits, wear it.
Exactly.
And they also talked about him, how he portrays the woman. Again, it's all relatable.
Yeah, it's relatable. You got
Yeah.
you got to produce what sells.
Yeah.
I feel like Shay about to disagree. I see it in her face. I see it in her
Shay,
face.
what you got to say? Go ahead.
I'm listening.
Yeah.
But I feel like I enjoy watching his movies. However, I do think that they're predictable. I don't think there's a depth to them. Like, you can kind of predict what's going to happen. There's no twists, no turns kind of thing. So, I mean, if you just have life experience, you can guess what's going to happen in his movies.
Yeah,
but I feel that I think that people should be able to offer constructive criticism because we are purchasers. We do buy tickets to go see the movie, so we can offer our opinions. However, I think people should still look at the bigger picture, that he's solving a problem that, you know, so many people bring up. They want to bring up diversity. They want to bring up that there's no black actresses or actors in Hollywood.
Which
and
is
you
true.
have this man who's feeling a need and you want to tear him down and, you know, discourage him because you didn't like his movie. Well, you had an option to buy the ticket or not. So I feel like we should be able to offer constructive criticism, but also just keep in mind that he's solving a problem. And if you think of other writers and directors like Lucas, what's the guy who did the Star Wars series and
Is it Frank Lucas?
yes,
Okay.
and then Quentin Tarantino, they have their niche, like what kind of movies they make. Are people saying, oh, your movies are so predictable, you're doing the same thing over and over? That's their niche. That's what they do. So
Exactly.
why do we say that about Tyler Perry? If you don't want to see his type of movie, you know, if you don't want to see his type of comedy or whatever it is, go see an action movie, go see something else. But don't discourage somebody who's, you know, doing something positive, you know, creating jobs, helping the economy, you know.
What do you feel like we're being depicted in a negative?
I feel that if you, like I said, his movies are predictable because I feel like
It's always
in all
gonna
of
be a
his
black man
movies,
that's bad, huh?
in all of his movies, majority of them, there are relationship issues. I do feel that he places the woman a little above the man morally, and you know what I'm saying? Like the woman can't do any wrong and the man is the one who does the wrong. But I also read he writes based on his personal experience, how as a young boy he saw men treating his mother and his aunties, and that's where he created the character Medea, because they remind him of his mom and his auntie. So he writes from that perspective.
When you think about it, it's just like, okay, when you look at rappers, athletes, at the same time, I don't get it. Rapper writes about his life. Sometimes a lot of it is foolery. But at the end of the day, you know, you're still buying his $1,000 ticket to sit at the front row seat. But, you know, we as people, we're in an opinionated, we're opinionized so greatly for no reason. You can't satisfy everybody in life. I learned that in business. You just can't. You just can't. There's always going to be those exceptions. And then now we have people that's followers. One person says something negative, everybody floats with it. Right. Now all of a sudden I don't like that person either. But at the end of the day, you know, believe it or not, that's still free marketing. So as long as you're sharing it to another person, that negativity, and they're sharing it, free marketing. So I don't think he's really losing in both scenarios when you really think about it.
At the end of the day, if I feel like I'm being depicted in a bad way, and my woman want to go see it, I'm still gonna take her to see it. So
exactly. So it's just sometimes I feel weird. People just need to embrace people's criticism. It's just constructive. It doesn't. You don't have to take it. You don't have to. Tyler Perry doesn't have to take anybody's opinion. He can still make his movies and still make millions of dollars. And he's still gonna do what he do best. You know. So and look how far he's gotten based on where he came from. So I don't really dive into too much people's when it pertains to people's opinions like that. You know.
I agree.
And that movie, Fall from Grace, it threw me for a loop. So it wasn't predictable. So you should definitely check it out. No, I would have never seen that coming.
I ain't see it yet. Y'all
Oh, so you're gonna okay.
I might
We
watch
won't
it.
ruin
I
it.
appreciate that. Thank you.
But I dated someone who would not go with me to see Tyler Perry movies.
Why?
And just, like, I've met a few guys who just did not like Tyler Perry movies.
Do you feel like it was something within themselves? Were they great men?
I feel like the person was a good man, but
So she was the problem.
no, the person was a very successful man, so I was like, why can't you relate to this type of movie?
Some men are like that.
But just because
that's not
he's-
going to be my first pick.
Tyler Perry wouldn't be
Would
your
never
first.
be my first
No,
pick, ever.
But you said you've seen all of his
I see his
movies.
movie because of people I'm with.
Oh, okay,
People, that boy
okay.
said people, not
Yeah, you know,
a
individuals
person
I'm with,
that
they,
I'm with.
they're
I'm gonna follow you on IG what it was.
you know, but it's again, everybody taste and preference, taste and preference.
Okay.
You know, everybody's into different movies. I'm more action. I'm more
Yeah,
moved
more of
to
a
have more
Marvel
detail,
guy.
more depth.
Yes.
That movie
yes.
doesn't really. His movie's really, like you say, it's pretty simple. Okay, this is what happened. Okay, let me guess. You're gonna get back with this person, or you're gonna do this person wrong for. Okay, pretty simple concept. You know what I mean? But if simplicity is what's selling for him, you know, why change your recipe, your secret recipe?
Exactly.
You know, so.
Exactly.
But how about the movies that we don't know he directed or wrote? I believe Acrimony. What did
Yeah,
that?
it was.
It was good.
But he has his name like in front of everything.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm not a
Right.
huge fan, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, before we wrap up, I do want to send my condolences to the family of the late Kobe Bryant.
Wow, yes.
This was horrible news.
Yeah.
Very sad. Very sad.
You know, 41 years old, helicopter crash. This is, we go back to financial literacy. You never know when's your last day. I preach on life insurance. I tell parents to invest into the value of having a high life insurance policy, preferably $1 million or better, because of situations like this. Your day, nobody lives forever. You don't know when's your last day to be called. So it's important that we as people do what we can while we have the chance. And my condolences goes out to the family also.
And his daughter also passed away. His 13-year-old daughter. Yeah.
Wow.
13-year-old. So.
Wow, that's sad. I didn't.
It's
Yeah.
sad.
I know it was 5 people. I didn't know.
Yeah, his daughter was one of the 5.
Wow. No, so guys, you know, this is a great discussion we're having. Great value being exposed to our audience and just really having them know, yeah, you know, prepare yourself, people. We don't live forever.
Yes.
We don't live forever.
Very true.
So, you know, make proper adjustments. You know, get a person in your life that could add value to teaching you to get to the level that you want to get to, and, you know, mentally, you know, continuously just be the best of you while living, while you can.
And once again, thank you for being on our show today.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
We would love to keep the tea spilling, but unfortunately, we are running out of time. But you can keep the conversation going by leaving your comments below and on Facebook and Instagram at Cocktails and Conversations.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and see you Wednesday night at 8 for Cocktails and Conversations with a Twist. Good night.